This is my dad, and this video today is about forgiving my dad. Basically today, to the point, is I never grew up with him. I don't know him. He doesn't really know me. My parents got divorced when I was really young, and I never really knew anything about him. I just got to carry these pictures around for most of my life and to come across things from him, and I've been thinking a lot about it recently, and my whole life I was so angry with him, and I was really resentful as a kid growing up, thinking he didn't want a relationship with me, and the cliche thing of like, oh no, he left because of me, and I'm the youngest of 4, so I was always really hurt and upset and just this angry kid growing up that they got a relationship with him and I didn't, and I look a lot like him, and I was born with his last name and it was changed, and then I just recently changed it back, and basically the whole basis behind my name is around him. I don't know him, he doesn't know me, he doesn't know that I'm trans, and I have no way to tell him that after 23 years of having no relationship that I forgive him, and that I still love him and wouldn't mind some kind of relationship with him, just because I didn't grow up with him. I didn't grow up around my culture. I just found a cousin in Toronto from his side of the family that I met, and I've been feeling this way for a long time, and I just had no way to tell this to him. I don't see him, I don't talk to him. I wasn't sure how to go about this. Like, a letter looked really informal, and talking on the phone just seems awkward. So I'm making a video. Today is May 9th, 2013, and I basically am throwing this out there to my dad. I don't know if he'll ever see this or know about me or anything, but I'm now 23. I've been living in Winnipeg for the last 3.5 years. I am transgender, and I started my transition in November of 2012. And I think about him a lot, and I really wish I had some kind of relationship with him, and I wish there was an easier way to go about this, but this is the only way I know how, because I finally have gotten more comfortable with myself, and I feel like I've turned out to be a pretty decent person, and there's just this big like weight on my chest that's been there for my whole life, because I hated him. I resented him. I hate that this man did not want a relationship with me. I hate that he wasn't there, and I hate that it was like this big thing growing up that I thought he was the reason that he left, and I thought that I was just this angry little kid that didn't know what happened, because I wasn't really, like, I didn't really know about the divorce, and I didn't really know why he left, and I knew he was an alcoholic and abusive, and I'm just finding a little bit more out about him. There's a cousin in Toronto that I found out about from his side of the family, and other than that, I don't really know anybody on his side of the family, and I just feel like it's this sense of self that has been lost for most of my life, because I'm finally becoming this like confident, happy person, and I really like how my transition is going so far. My 6-month on T is on the 12th, so this Sunday, and I just didn't know how to go about doing this. Like, how do you tell your dad after 23 years of never taking his phone calls or telling him that your Christmas gifts are shit, because all of those years I never liked jewelry, and I knew it was your girlfriend that was buying it, and I did appreciate it, but I was just so angry. I was angry that you didn't want to be in my life, and I felt like I did something wrong, and I just thought that I was wrong. Like, I just was so angry as a kid and just jealous that my siblings knew more about you than I did, and my own niece, who's 14, knows more about you, and I was just angry, and I'm not that person anymore because I forgive you. I don't want you to just like die without thinking that I hated you or not really knowing anything about me, and I don't want to look back thinking like, what if, and why didn't I ever tell you how I was feeling? So this is me telling my dad that I forgive you, and we all make mistakes, and I do wish you were in my life a little bit more, and I wish that you were growing up. I wish that it just wasn't so stressful to think about it and to talk about you, because I really wish I grew up around my culture a little more, and I just wish that you knew more about me, that I'm really embracing my culture, and I want to know more about it, and I'm doing more things in life now. I'm 23, and I've put this off for so long because I just wasn't very happy or confident in myself, and now that I am, and I'm doing more things, and I've procrastinated this for a very long time. I have that bad habit, but this year is the year for change for me, and applied for school this fall. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it or do it or whatever, but I live on my own. I've lived in Winnipeg for 3.5 years, and I'm 23, and you left when I was pretty much born. I can probably count on 2 hands how many times I remember seeing you. I never failed to be disappointed every Christmas, to open up a box of shitty jewelry from you, and to feel obligated to say thank you, knowing you didn't put any thought or effort into any of those. And it was just the same thing year in and year out. It was a Christmas gift and a phone call and the most scripted phone conversations with you. You would ask how school was, you would ask how hockey was, and I would have to correct you and say it was ringette because I had only played it for 10 years. And it was just the same thing year in and year out, where I got sick of it, and I just avoided you. Whenever my mom would say, hey, it's your dad on the phone, and talk to him, I would say no. And I don't regret that. That's how I felt at the time, and I didn't want to talk to you because it just felt so forced, and like I was going through the motions because it was just the same thing every year. And I remember that time you came down from Edmonton and took me out for lunch or supper or something and bought me a phone. I think it was in like grade 9 or 10. And Jaden was with us, and it was really awkward because you guys were talking more and I know nothing about you. And that was probably the last time I remember seeing you. And I think recently you tried to get into contact with me, but I still didn't want it, and you were kind of rude. But I'm free of that. I'm done being angry at you. I don't have anything mean or hurtful to say, and I'm growing as a person, and I've come to forgive you, and this is the only way that I know how. So I don't know if and when you'll ever see this, but I just wanted you to know a little bit about my life before it's too late, and there's been some pretty big changes, and I hope that you can accept it, or at least be aware of it, because